In sport, we are featuring Zambia national soccer team former captain Christopher Katongo. He was instrumental in making sure that Zambia lifts the AFCON Trophy in 2012. So make sure you follow us as we discuss with Christopher Katongo. Chris, welcome to this interview. We want to find out from you, Zambian football cannot go without the mention of your name. Tell us about yourself. Who is Chris Katongo?
My full name is Christopher Katongo. I was born in 1982 in Butondo Township in Mfulira. I was born in a family of 13. If everybody could have been here, we could have been 13, but 6 have died. We had 3 girls in our family. And we have left with only boys. We are 8 boys left. I'm the second born now. And my dad was a miner. My mom, she was a housewife, trying to look after ourselves and make sure that we go to school and have the things that we need to have in the house. And I did my primary school at Butondo Primary School. I did my secondary school at Kantanshi Secondary School. I did my grade 10. And then I moved from grade 10 to Butondo Secondary School. It's the same grade because of football aspect. And then I moved from Butondo Secondary School to Kalurushi Secondary School. That was when I was in grade 11. And that's the time I started playing in a premiership. And that's the time I was also playing in Division 2, straight into Premiership, Kalurushi Modern Stars in 1999. And I finished my grade 12 at Kalurushi Secondary School in 2000. This is the period that also I was involving myself in football.
When did you start playing football?
I think I was in an area whereby sports were like on the weekend, we need to have some activities every weekend. There will be some running, there will be some tennis, there will be some volleyball, all kinds of sports. We were involving in all sorts of those things. So I was involving in so many sports because not yet to discover that I can play football, but normally before that we were playing Ichimpombwa, from the Ichimpombwa, and then they introduces the actual ball. Those are the time that trying to kick and stuff like that, to have fun. And then some coaches started to coming in when we are under 10, under 12. Those are the time that they will start pushing, like, okay, there is a potential in you. You need to concentrate playing football. And I remember every time I go to play tennis, I go to play volleyball. The coach will just come and pick me up. Hey, come, you are a football player. And those are the time that I started discover from the people perspective of talking about myself. And then I say, I think I can play football. And those are the time that I started playing football. And that's when I need to convince my dad, like, I can play football. And it was not easy because my dad wanted to get a good education.
Which one was your first organized match? Was it at school or was it in the community?
I was involving at school. I was in grade 6. I was playing football at Butondo Primary School. That time, by the time I need to leave that school, they changed it to basic school. So I was in grade 6, and I was selected to play in the Butondo, Butondo Primary School team in the A side. So those are the things that I discover already myself that I can play. But just to go to my dad, please dad, I'm a good player, I need the soccer boots. And that was the problem because the teachers will come to my place or to my house and, trying to take me and go and play football. And my dad will just shout at them and stuff like that. Say, oh no, look, my son will fail grade 7 and stuff like that, So it was not easy. But the time now my dad was coming in is when Butondo Western Tigers didn't have sponsors. So the miners used to contribute maybe like 10 kwacha. So from when they're contributing 10 kwacha, the miners were coming to watch. We were just in the amateur. So the first time I played in the amateur league, my daddy's friends was watching. And then they went, to work, Pamgodi, and they are just entering the shaft and stuff, so forth and so forth. And I say, yeah, your son, he can play football. And my dad was like, no, my son, I want my son to get education. And I was, no, your son can play football. And then I remember the next day, my dad came to watch when I was just playing, and then he didn't tell me. And the next time he bring me the boots, because in the area they were, you get for credit from the mine, and then they deduct the money from the price. And those are the time that now I was like officially I can not hide from my dad that I want to play football.
Interesting. Which one was your first club?
Utondo Western Tigers, that was my first club.
How was it playing for that club?
It was okay. From the history, Utondo Western Tigers was in the Premiership also, same like Maiden Wanderers. We used to hear the derby, like in Kana Power. We had all of that also, but we were too little at that time, and we just, listening from the history that the minor will only sponsor one team. They can sponsor two teams in the Confederation Cup. So that's why they dismantled Utondo Western Tigers. They combined together with the Mighty, but they remain in the amateur league, and that's how things started, and that's where we also started.
Okay, so how did you progress from there?
From there, I played from Utondo Western Tigers in the amateur. I remember it was in Mafa, and Kalush Modern Stars came to see me. Lupia was the coach for Kalush Modern Stars. He came to pick me to go and play for Kalush Modern Stars, but there was something that was happening. Lupia was sidelined, and then Lupia went to coach DAP United, and he wanted still to take me to DAP United because DAP United was in the second league, and the Utondo Western Tigers was in the MAFA. So things didn't go well. So what's going to happen for the education, and stuff like that. Then Lupia called back for Kalush Modern Stars, and that's when he called me. I remember I was in grade 11, and I had the opportunity to play with Gibi Marcela. It was inspiration, and when you are going to school grade 11 and looking after yourself. So this is how I started from Kalush Modern Stars. I came to Green Buffaloes in 2001. I think Peter Kaumba wanted me so much, especially when I was playing at Kalush Modern Stars. But Peter Kaumba was sidelined from Green Buffaloes. They bring Mutobo. Mutobo already picked me to go to Power Dynamos. So things didn't work well there because I had my parents who was taking me care, in terms of school and stuff like this. So they refused that, no, you don't go to Power, first finish grade 12. Then I can't go to Power. I remember Power was participating in the Confederation Cup. So Mutobo came to Green Buffaloes. That was in 2001. That's when he took me to Kalush Modern Stars. Then I joined Green Buffaloes.
Before we go to your international career, okay, what was your traditional position that you were used to, that you've been playing?
I remember Kashimoto was my coach. I was playing, that time they would say number 7. Things are changing in football, and it's a right winger now, attacking midfielder from the light, and those things are changing. But my normal position I was playing was number 7. But the number 7, it was a number that I was also scoring goals. So it was more or less like an attacking midfielder. At that time it was number 10. I'll go in the midfield and try to play the ball and stuff like that. So, Peter Kaumba saw that. He said, no, they have wrongly positioned you. You're going to start playing as a second striker. And that's how I started playing second striker, number 10. And I remember to Green Buffaloes, I was putting on the number 10 exactly so that I can play exactly that number.
Tell us about the international career. You played for so many clubs abroad. Give us that experience.
Yeah, I've played in Jomo Cosmos in 2004 until 2007, and then I went to Denmark, Brøndby. I played there 2.5 years. I went to Germany, and I played there 2.5 years. I went to Greece. I signed 3 years, but I stayed 1 year. There were some problems that I was facing there. Then I went to China, where I stayed 2.5 years. I came back to play to South Africa. Golden Arrows, I just signed 4 months. And then Golden Arrows get relegated, and then I signed to Vets. And then vets I signed one one option, but there was a problem that I had with my knee, and I can't have more time with the games, and the injury was so severe that I need to come back. There was things which was happening there, so my 1 year was not extended, and that's when I came back to Green Buffaloes. Because I'm a soldier, for sure. For those who doesn't know that, I'm a warrant officer class 1, and I'm a soldier, so I can't play to another team looking at my rank and the ranks which was being given. It was coming from the high authority. Two presidents of this country gave me the rank. I remember when I scored 3 goals in South Africa, the Pierre Banda gave me to become a staff sergeant. And before I win the AFCON, the late President Michael Sata, he gave me warrant officer class 1, which is the high authority to receive those ranks. So for me, coming back to Zambia to go and play to another team, it's not inappropriate to my chief in command. So that's why I came back to play for my Green Buffaloes.
When did you join the national team?
I joined the national team in 2003. My first game was Zambia versus Tanzania in this stadium. And I remember we played together with Milanzi. I play as a second striker. We beat Tanzania 4-0, if I'm not mistaken. That was my first officially international game. But if we talk about the COSAFA games, I've played some of them like just coming in, maybe not coming in, you are just on the bench. Those days when you are a young player, it was not like this time when somebody just not even consistency in the league is playing for the national team. It was not like that.
How easy or how difficult was it to join the national team setup?
It was not easy. I was a consistent player for 3 years. From 2001, I was scoring almost over 18 goals for Green Buffaloes. Daddy can score 20-something. I will score maybe over 15 every season. 2001, I was just playing, no sit on the bench. 2002, I was just playing, no sit on the bench. All the Confederation camp, I was playing. They never called me for the national team. They knew that I was too young. I remember even Patrick Pidi was in charge. He can see that I'm still young, but they can see that there is still potential. Then 2002 to the end, they will call me, they will drop me, they will call me, they will drop me, I remember. And I remember I was the only young player that time. Then the Songwe Chalwe started to joining in, Sashi Chalwe started to joining in. All these were among, like, I was young, and those are the difficulties that we were facing, but it was okay because we had more an experienced player than us. But I was doing everything that, if it was those times, I think I could play for the national team, the youngest player ever to play for the national team. But it was not happening. So those are the differences that it was those days and it was like this. And I think these are the things that can bring even our football down. It's just that because somebody is not consistent, he just play one season and then straight to the national team and he's in the starting lineup, which is, for me, which is not fair and which is not a correct way. But this is what we have now because everything has broken. So we need to take what we have.
Why do you think there's no consistency nowadays? How can you describe the difference, the football you're playing then and now football nowadays?
No, it's just the consistency whereby somebody has to perform. 1 year he's been performing very good. The next year he's been performing very good. And those are the signs that he's getting maturity. And I remember those days when you are playing Confederation, it's you are taking also like an experience. But I think I see these days just one season, maybe even half season.
Yeah,
is
a player
playing
will play for 1 season is hot, the other season is flat.
It's flat.
What is the problem?
Yeah. So those are the differences that I've seen, and those are the things that can kill us. So we need to look out quickly before it's too late.
In 2006, it was your first AFCON. You went on to lose to Tunisia, you lost to Guinea, and then finally you won. You beat South Africa and you scored that goal.
I think it was another level, and first time to the Africa Cup, it's excited. You are a young player. But my first Africa Cup of Nations should be in 2004, when we missed out. And I was involved in those games because I was on the bench. Sometimes they will introduce me in to the Patrick Pili. I remember we went to play the last game in Benin. We lost in Benin, so that Zambia for the first time not to participate in the Africa Cup. Now Zambia is the second not to participate, so that's another issue. So for me,
so it has been twice for you to fail to qualify to the
yes,
Africa Cup.
and my dream is to play 6 national cup. And those are the things that I've been fighting, but those are my personal things. Don't worry about that. Being to the first time Africa Cup of Nations is not a pressure for a young player. For me, it was just excited to be here. For me, it's just to be excited to have a jersey. They put a number. I'm not even thinking about the Zambian people, how they are feeling when you fail to go in the second round. It was not my problem. It was the problem for the senior players, because they have been there and they know what is at stake for the Zambian people. But for me, it was like, okay, it's a CV. People are coming to watch, the scouts, maybe they will see me, I'm a good player. I have a jersey for Zambia, there is a logo, and I'm happy for that. But as I played the first game, I started to realize that, people, they needed more than what I'm thinking. This is not what the Zambian people want. The Zambian people have got a history whereby they need something. And from there, I started to develop myself. The second AFCON of my career, it changes. It has to change. The third, you can see in 2010, we almost got there. Then it came 2012, we got it. So those are the steps that I was taking. So even this time when I carry the young players, I need to tell them. I remember when I went to Chan with them, I told them, forget about calculating things that you think you have. Not yet. The Zambian people, they are not calculating what you have. The Zambian people are waiting for something. Change your mind now. Don't count this daily allowance like it's finished for you. Leave it. The Zambian people, they are waiting for something. And this is the impact that we need. We need someone who's there to give the impact to this player so that they know what is at stake. Otherwise, they just go for fun.
When you were playing the last game with South Africa, do you still have hope? Anyway, you were already out, but you went on to score.
Yeah, because I needed that thing. I needed to start being on the score chart. I needed to be on the Zambian map. I needed to be among the group that they can put together to try and win something. And that's how I was thinking. We know that we are already out, but we say no. This is a tournament that you need to be on a chat list also. Man of the match is good. They put you in the book. Those are the things that I wanted, so that it's pushed me for the next level. And I got it, but unfortunately we didn't go in the next round.
After that, you had to take over the traditional number 11 shirt from Kalusha Wali. I would say number 11 is iconic in this country. How was it you taking over the shirt 11?
Taking the shirt, I think it was not easy. I remember the late Bamf Chile. He was assistant to Kalusha. He was insisting to him, listen, this boy has got potential. Give him the jersey 11. It was not easy. And I remember Kalusha used to put the jersey inside. He will never give it to anybody else. But this time, anybody can just wear jersey number 11. It's meaningless. It's nothing to it. It doesn't have value. But those time, I remember when Kalusha was in charge as a coach, no one was wearing jersey number 11. He was putting inside. And I remember at this stadium, Independence, he scored the only goal we beat Liberia. He scored the free kick. He came in, he took off the shirt, it was inside. And me, I will look for it, I will never find it. And I remember I'll wear number 7, I'll wear number 20. Sometimes I'll wear number 12 if Ali is not there, that time when he was coming out from outside playing. So taking that number 11 was also a pressure in such a way that the owner who has worked for it, it was too much. You look at his football of the year 1988. He's been in the finals of AFCON. He's been scoring for this country, and taking that jersey was not easy. But I was just insisting. and he wanted to find out why you are getting this jersey. I give him only one reason. My name was got 11 letters. That's why I like this jersey. And I said Bamfuchile the late is the one who convinced him that just leave this jersey and give to the boy to use. And then finally he gave it up, and I started even producing things that he wanted. And then he said, "This is what I want, and I want you, to make sure that this jersey, live on the mark." And this is what I did for him, and he's happy. He's happy about that, and he's always smiling to see the jersey. It's like that. But he can't say anything now, but he's not happy with the people who are wearing jersey number 11. But what can we do? This is Zambia.
At one point you had similarities. I think there's something with this shirt number 11. Previously, if it's not any other player scoring, then it would be Kalusha. And you had the same characteristic as well. You'd come from nowhere and score for Zambia. I'm sure there were even rumors that, when you score, then no one else will score. Did you hear those rumors?
Yeah, people, they will talk like that because they believe in something else. We don't believe in those things. Zambia has won 3-0. Zambia has won 2-0. Mayuka was scoring, I was scoring. Collins was scoring, I was scoring. So I don't know what they were meaning. But the similarity that they have to take when Zambia are in the difficulty, you see Kalusha stepping up. He was born a leader, and I was born a leader. No one will take away from me. I was born a leader. A leader is not been made; it's just been born. If you look at Kalusha's, sometimes he never talk about most of his story. How he was growing up. You will see he was leading even when he was playing, or when he was home, or when he was doing something, he was maybe leading someone. And I was grew up as a leader. I was leading at my house. I would try my brothers, not to fight, putting them in order, making sure somebody didn't go to school. I push him to school, even if it's my older brother. When I was playing with the guys, I was a leader. I would lead them, guys. Oh, look, this is danger. We can do this. We can start stealing and stuff like that. I know myself. No one would take away from me. And when things are wrong in the pitch, that's when I step out. And that's how Kalusha was doing it, and I was doing it. When things are not going well, you just see me stepping up, like taking the Zambia, on its own, on its horns, and push it forward. Because if there's nobody who's taking it, I am the leader. Anything which is going to happen wrong or right, they'll mention the leader. That's how it is. So it's better they mention the good things for the leader and for the team. Wrong things I'll consume and I'll defend my own player. That's how Kalusha was. He was, and I was the same. So those are the similarities when we talk about in the field.
Okay, so when the captaincy came, it came at the right time because you're already a leader.
For sure, I know. The senior players who were there to make sure that I wear the armband. I was just smiling in the heart. I know that you have chosen the right way. I remember my first captaincy. We played in Namibia in the Kasoga. I scored the first goal. We beat Namibia 3-0. Not this time now. Namibia is beating us, which is different. And Patrick Pili, he called some of the senior players like Mark Sinyangwe was there, Joseph Musonda was there. Achilensa was there, just to mention the few. These are senior players for me. And then they say, okay, we're gonna give the who do you want to get the armband? I don't want you senior players to wear the armband. And then the senior player came up, okay, give Chris the armband. I think he's a leader. He's not scared of challenging and talking when things are going wrong or right. We can see even as senior players, he's telling us that no, don't say this, you have to do this. And he's a leader. And that's how Patrick Pili gave me the armband, and I say, this is the right choice that I've made and you never regret. And today when we look at each other, we just smile.
Coming to the 2008 AFCON, I know when qualifying it was very difficult. You had to wait for the last game to win, and you stepped up to score the 3 goals. How was it that time?
That time, I remember we first came to play South Africa, the game here at Independence, And I remember Sichone is a senior player, so he wanted to lead us. So we give respect for sure. He's well respected. He's a senior player. I released the armband myself because the leader will be there. But I was playing as a captain, even if Sinkala was there. Sinkala he refused. He didn't want. He said, "No, boy, continue. You still were a leader." But his Chone is still my senior. I need to ask him. That's the protocol. If you are being taught how things should be there, if you see a senior player coming up, you don't need to hold on to the armband. You can release, unless when he refused, then you keep it. Like what Sinkala did. I was playing as a captain. Sinkala was there. You remember in South Africa when I scored 3, Sinkala was there, and I was the leader. So it's like this. So Sichone, you know, is my senior player. I need to give respect. I say, okay, you can lead us, no problem. And we lost to South Africa 1-0. I don't know if he wanted to stop that time or whatever. And then we went to South Africa, and it's a game which was a do-die game. And I remember Patrick Piri wanted, you know, the win, and I remember him. We never celebrated at anywhere the way he celebrated when I scored 3 goals in South Africa to make sure Zambia qualified to the AFCON. He ran from the bench maybe 50 yards from where we were celebrating, and I was watching on the TV. I say, this is the moment that I've made my coach the happiest person, and he's gonna remember by giving me the armband that I told him that you have made the right choice for this moment, and hopefully he'll remember that I said that.
Tell us about your signature celebration, summersaults. How did it come about?
I think I was doing the gymnastic when I was 5-7 years. We used to have, you know, the big tire from the bus. This Tata bus, you get that tire. In the mine area, you know, that there was some workers who just come in the compound just to cut the grass. So you make sure when they are cutting, you just correct the grass, put them together, and put the tire, you know, to make it like a spring. You know, you just run, you bounce there, and then it makes you, you know, to spring and to have these somersaults and so forth and so forth. So I've been doing those things maybe when I was 5, 6, 7. So the time I was playing for Mutondo Western Tigers, I remember I watched the Agaoa from Nigeria. He was scoring. I was doing those things. So, and they were just coming from the tournament. I remember it was in 2009 in Africa Cup 1990 somewhere there, if I'm not mistaken. And Agaoa was there in forefront scoring, and he was doing the somersault. And from that moment I say, oh, if I score, so I'll do that. So I just started from the amateur. I was been doing it, and since then it's not coming out from my blood. So I need to continue.
So it's automatic. Once you score,
I have to do that one. Yeah, because you know, the goal won't look, you know, special ones. So we need to make it special and funny. So we have to do that.
Interesting. Let's go to 2008 AFCON. It was an embarrassing outing where you lost. One of the losses was to Cameroon, 5-1. You beat Sudan quite alright by 3-0, but went on to lose to Cameroon by 5-1 and so forth. How was it, that one?
That one was so painful. I think I was thinking we have a team. We had good defenders. You know, Ketani, Bidi Mwanza there. They were playing together for so long. I remember that time. So I had the confidence that this is the time that we can, you know, go into the next round. You know, missing out 2006. Okay, that was not much of an experience. Then 2008 we had more, because we know how it feels from there to there. And then we lost 5-1. I remember I scored the only goal for Zambia to lose 5-1 from Cameroon. It was painful. And then we came to draw, I think, Egypt. I scored also the only goal. So I think it was painful, but those are the moments that I was changing my momentum. The more I had in these games, it's the more I was changing momentum, and it's the moment that I was realizing what Zambians want. Because now it's not funny anymore to go to the national team and come back with the only jerseys, and families are happy to see me with a jersey, and I was there. You participated in this competition. And those are the moments I was just changing. And the way I was changing, is to make sure that in the competition I have to be on the top chart, either scoring or being the man of the match. This is what I wanted. That's how I wanted to go further.
Coming to the 2010 Africa Cup of Nations, you were eliminated in the first round in 2006, 2008 first round. 2010, you reached the quarterfinals. How was the experience?
Yeah, you see the momentum. How was it was changing from 2006, 2008, and 2010. And I think 2010 we could have taken the trophy. You know, because we had everything. The two times in our language they say kalulwa pusuka emipini shibiri shabutatu nishi nabamuma. So I was thinking, being twice for the AFCON, this is the third one. We need to go further than this, and we went into the quarterfinals, and we missed out. We lost to the penalty shootout, and we had a good coach who were understanding what also we wanted, and for Kalusha to put us together also, it was working. The fruits was coming. I was even happy that the fruits was coming, and then the players who was coming. I remember we had only 2-3 young players in that team. For example, not young but an experienced one, and we give them that motivation, So those are the things that happens. Even in 2012, I know you're gonna ask about 2012. We had only three or four young players. We had Evans, we had Chisamba, Nathan. Yes, you see, there was just 3 young players from nowhere, and we put them together, and they follow what we wanted, and it was marvelous. But if Zambia can have 11 starting lineup, 10 an experienced one, 7 an experienced one, that's not enough for the competition like AFCON.
Coming to the big one itself, 2012, where you reaped the AFCON for the very first time. How was it? How was the preparation going into that tournament?
I think from preparation we wanted also to be prepared spiritually. We involve ourselves, making sure that we have a fellowship every night at 6, and it was conducting very well. No one was coming. We didn't have too much pastors, too many people to involve in our winning thing, too many people to come and encourage us, or too many people to see that vision that we're gonna win the tournament. You know what I mean? It was just ourselves and putting ourselves together, like, okay guys, spiritually we need to be strong in this moment. We just sacrifice, and then physically, mentally, we'll get it from the coach in the pitch, and tactically we'll get from the coach, maybe tactically also the skills that we have and the physique that we have, we're gonna just make sure we mix it with together with the coach. So 2012, everything was straightforward, and you can see things are going. The training sessions, we play with the young boys, they give us the training until we went to the tournament. Before the tournament started, we just visited where our heroes perished, in 1993 Gabon disaster. We went there even 3 days before the tournament starts. Everybody was focused because it was even good. Like, no one would expect that we were gonna win. They would just think we are underdogs. And you see the Senegalese, how they were warming up and how they were elated them. And I remember I was going to the press briefing, and I remember how the people were questioning me. I remember one Ghanaian guy was always attacking on Zambia. And I told him the truth that, from the names that you have, we're going to make a name from that one. Because if we want to reach on the top, we need to beat the people who are on top. Because you can't be selected to be on top, like, hey, Zambia, you are on top, look, you are warming up nicely. No, you beat the people, or you beat the team who are on top. And then the people was on top, we need to beat them. And this is what was happening. And you see the Senegalese, how they were warming up. They think like they've won a game before. They're just warming up like, okay, this is Zambia. But you see from the first whistle, we mean business. That's the first game that we won the AFCON. It's the first game that we played. There were names like Demba Ba, Papi Cisse. How was it? What was running through your mind? There's no intimidation, but we're gonna respect the people that they have been there to the world stage. You know, looking at the names they compare to Chris Katongo is nothing. No one mention Kalava, mention who in our team. They were playing in the Premier League. So I said, if we need to show them that we want to be on top, we need to beat these people who are on top. And going there, we just go with the motivation because we are not under pressure. They are under pressure to beat us, not us. And you see the first game, as I said, when we play the first game, you can see that we mean business. And this is the first game that we win the AFCON, not the last one.
Yes, you won that game by 2-1. The next game was playing Libya, and it was 2-2 under that flooded pitch. How was it?
Yeah, I think these are the game that is still in my memory, and this is my best game that I've played for this country. I know people will ask why, or you ask why, but I'll tell you why. Because I was so intelligent in such a way that I see that there is waterlogged. You can't pass the ball. You just lift it and pass your friend. And that was the things that we need players to think. And that's where I realized my leadership. And that's where I realized that sometimes my thinking capacity is much more stronger than some other ones. And I remember the time when I was not to the AFCON. I remember Zambia also played in the flooded. And I see the guys, they're just kicking the ball on the floor. It was not moving and it was waterlogged. It was waterlogged, and I was saying on the panel, this is simple. One guy step up, tell the guys not to play ball on the ground because it's waterlogged. Lift it up, give your friend, and the other one lift it up, and it's moving. And this is what we did to Libya, and I scored the second goal to draw with Libya. And this is the game that I always grab myself, and it's always in my cell phone. That's the game I see what was happening. You see the passes that Kalaba was giving to Mayuka when he scored that spectacular goal. You see how the ball was moving from Isaac coming to me. I scored the header. There's nothing that I want to subtract myself from that game. It's hats off for my players to start even listening to me. Like, guys, lift the ball. We give ourselves. Otherwise, it's gonna be hard for us.
The final group game, it was against the hosts, Equatorial Guinea, and we had to travel from Bata, where we were based, to Malabo to play the hosts.
Yeah, you know, that game, I think we had already the momentum of the tournament, and we didn't considering like, you know, it's gonna be the home game, you know, with many fans for the host nation, and it was not in our mind that you know, our mind was to be number one or number two, or to go to the next round. That was the most important thing, so that we start fighting to reach the final. So, and I remember that game was a very good game, and I took it personal, you know, because I can see that the goals was not coming. I remember Joseph Musonda throw the throw in, you know, a very good dummy from one of their defenders, another dummy, the second defender, and then I squeezed the ball, you know, into the corner of the goalkeeper. He can't see it, you know. There was not much power, but there was just accuracy, and we beat Equatorial Guinea by 1-0. So we top up the table so that we can face Sudan.
Okay, and you scored that goal. Going into the quarterfinals, you faced Sudan. You scored one of the 3 goals. At one point, you almost missed that penalty. What was going through your mind when you were taking that penalty?
No, I think the keeper was just intelligence. You know, he waited for me not to wait for him to go down. So it was also difficult for me to decide which side I'm gonna, you know, pass the ball, because he waited for me, as I said. So that's how it happens, but it bounces back. It came to me, to my left foot, and then I smashed it back. So that was also a good goal.
Okay, and that game you went on to win and face Ghana in the next match.
Yeah, we faced Ghana, and I remember from the press briefing, you know, we didn't have names in that team. No one knows who's Chris Katongo, who's Kennedy Mwene, who's Joseph Musonda. No one knows. It's Samba Lungus and so forth and so forth. So we were like, you know, underdogs from the first minute from the press, especially the Ghanaian press and the Nigerian press. They wanted to compare a player by one from the Ghana player, and we can't match them in terms of where they were playing and the clubs that they were playing and the leagues that they have been in and the leagues that we have been in. It was not easy, but I told them that we needed to be on top, and we're going to face the players, or we're going to face the team which is on top. And this is what I did. We faced the people who were on top, top of the game, individually, top of the game, as a team, top of the game. But eventually we beat Ghana.
Okay, a difficult match it was. How did you feel going to the final for the first time since 1994? There were also names like Drogba. How was it?
The feeling was not much of that. What was important is to take the trophy. But when you reach the final, it's a coin. It's a toasting coin, and the things which was going into our mind is like Zambia, they reached in the final and we lost to Nigeria. 2-1. I remember those go from our defender Tana, and started thinking of what was happening, and they say we say, okay, is that the thing that is going to happen again? And we say no, we need to take the trophy, and Zambia has been crying for over 30 something years. Dennis Luwewe has been talking about it. May his soul rest in peace. Let me mention also this. I remember when I met Dennis Luwewe, he was greeting me and he was giving me too much respect, and he say, my boy, now it's time for me to rest because you have bring the thing that I've been waiting for. I was thinking it's just a joke. After 2-3 months, we lost one of our heroes. That I can say to him, one of the fans, one of the Zambian that he knows football too much. So going into the final, it was like we have to do something and change for the betterment of Zambian football.
Were you scared of the big names that were in that Ivory Coast team?
I don't know to my other players, but I was just encouraging them. We were encouraging also each other, not necessarily because I'm the captain, I need to encourage everybody, but I'm the one who need to consume all the energy, whatever is happening, I need to consume it. I was not intimidated. No one was intimidated. I think even Evrena said we need to go and enjoy the final, enjoy the game, just give it all what you need to give it all. And every time when I watch this DVD, I smile and laugh. And I think I was thinking like it's not me, maybe because from the starting of the tournament, I say I want to play the tournament like it's the last tournament that I will play for Zambia, and I need to give it all. And this is what everybody did. And Ivory Coast, no chance. They see for themselves that hey, Zambia mean business. They got a penalty, yes, for sure. Kennedy saved. They had some chances. We had some chances. I remember Felix coming in, dribble 2 players, he gave me a good pass. Tried to tap it in, the keeper just touched it, go to the corner. Maybe it could be the only goal that we could have beat there for the course. Not even going for the penalty shootout. And then we went to the penalty shootout. We give the Zambians that they wanted.
How does it feel playing with a brother in the same pitch? In that final, we saw you coordinating so well with Felix.
It's wonderful. I've been with my brother for so long. We played together at Katongo Western Tigers just a little bit. We played together in under 23 when he was graduated from under 20. I remember we played together to Green Buffaloes. We played together in Jomo Cosmos. So he has been together with me, and Zambia has got history of having brothers in the team, and it's just been working. It's a history for Zambia. We have the Warriors. We have the Balitoris. We had the Katongos. Even now there is Chamas. Just to mention a few, we had the Lotas. So the Zambia has got this history, and for me to have my brother in my team, it's like, the family is close. You have a family which is more important to anybody.
Going into that final again, you went to penalty shootouts. The previous AFCON 2010, you lost on penalties. Were you training? Were you exercising penalty shootouts? How was it going into the penalty shootout?
Yeah, we were training, even before the tournament, we will put money together. Maybe we come 6 players. It was just like a joke, but it was helping us in the penalties. We will put maybe 100 rand each, and we select two goalkeepers. You take a penalty, as soon as you miss, you move out. You miss, you move out. One remains, he scores, he take all the money. Every day to the training we are doing it. From the moment we were camping in South Africa until the moment we played the final, we were practicing the penalty, and that was, perfect. Everybody took the penalty, perfect. Even my brother Felix is scared of taking the penalty, but that moment he took the penalty perfect. So training was important, and we get what we deserve to get in terms of practicing makes perfect.
You were the first one to step up and take that penalty and scored. What was going through your mind?
My mind is to lead the guys, to score first and to show the confidence to my fellow players. I don't need to take the penalty last. It's just that when you are the captain, maybe you miss and then you discourage the others. But in that moment, I wanted to step out, giving the confidence for my boys that, hey guys, I am the leader here. I've done it. You gonna do it. So that's what I was thinking.
What's your experience with penalty shootouts?
It's 50-50, and it needs more courage. It needs also more determination, and it's a difficult goal that ever somebody can score, because it involves only 2 people with more pressure. And for me, somebody scores a penalty, it's hats off.
The final penalty was taken by Sunzu, and as he was stepping up to go and take that penalty, what was running through your mind as players? We could see you behind, holding each other. How was it? What was the feeling?
It's wild, Everybody was screaming. I was also screaming, but I heard of Moma Yuka screaming more than me. And the other guys, maybe they were heading the same thing. We screamed, and our voices was just coming out in such a way that, what we have done now, it's huge, and that's how the feeling. But on that moment, the feeling was just like, okay, this is cup for Zambia. But the feeling when we came to Zambia, that was the feeling that we started getting, like somebody can cry when you reach in Zambia with a trophy. That was crazy. It's crazy.
Do you feel you are a hero?
I'm a hero, yes. I can accept that. I'm one of those heroes that have done something for this country, and I'm among those heroes that there have been so much things that they have done in terms of presenting country, and I've presented my country inside and outside, and I've tried myself to, not even trying myself, I've lifted the Zambian flag high in some certain countries that I've played my football career. Some of them, they didn't know where Zambia is located. I need to step out with a name coming out, and they need to find out where the name is, and I'm happy that you have brought the name hero, instead of saying celebrity, because I don't think I am a celebrity, but I am a hero, and I agree with that one, and I'll remain a hero for sure.
Now you're playing for Green Buffaloes. Do you have any intentions, or when do you intend to retire?
As long as my legs can't feel like to play, I think the next 3 years I can play football, but it depends. I wanted to play the Africa Cup of Nations, my last Africa Cup of Nations, but Zambia is not there. But we don't know what is happening, the World Cup qualifying games, whatever is going to come up. We don't know who's going to be in charge, if it's George or whoever, we don't know. If they will consider us or they will consider doing something else, we don't know. But I'm still playing football, and I want still to compete. I know myself. So when my legs will say, okay, stop now, that's when I'm gonna stop.
What's your experience with Zambian soccer fans as well as the media?
Starting with the media, I think we need each other. The media can promote you for sure. The media can also destroy you in one way or another, which is how it is for me, for everybody. But lightly, it's a 50-50. The media will try to do well in some certain things, and the media will make mistakes. We are human beings. It's like that. And in terms of fans, the Zambian people, they love football. I know for sure that one we can't take away. But the only difference is that they need to come to football and support football, but not just to come for the sake of criticism. Then you won't enjoy coming to watch the football. Then the essence of coming and enjoy football you are taking out from the players. So just come and enjoy, watching football and encourage the team that you want to encourage. But discouraging each other, because players need fans and fans need players. It's the same like the media. Media needs players. For example, if we talk in football, and the footballers needs media to market them, and so it's vice versa. We need to share the same thing that we need from each other.
Before the game, do you read social media, or maybe after the game, do you read social media, what people are saying in social media?
I don't know to other players. Me, I'm not on the social media. I don't know whatever they say. I don't want to read anything in the media, in the paper, in the Facebook, in whatever they want to say. I don't read them. I don't need to hear them. Whether it's good things, whether it's bad things, I don't need them. But what I need is to focus and see the day that's coming, the challenge which is coming for that day, and that's the thing that I always look up to.
Do you have aspirations of going back abroad again to play for other teams?
Whatever comes, I think I can take it. But there was a moment that I needed to go to Angola. And those are the moments that I wanted to show the Zambians that I can still play football, because the criticism was too much, and, people will finish you before you finish yourself. And I know myself who I am and what can I do, what I do, and it's still inside. And we discussed those things with George Rwandamina at the time I wanted to go. And I wanted to go to Dubai. But we discussed with Rwandamina. I said, what do you think? Then I told him what I think. I said, look, this is my opportunity to show the Zambian people that I can still play football. I'm still a very good player with a very good experience, so I'm not going anywhere. Let me take this opportunity of Chan and show the Zambians that this is who I am. That's when I went to China, and I think I proved the Zambians that no, what we are saying that's finished is not finished, and it's gonna finish until when my legs said you can't play. And these are the things that the Zambians has to understand. Kalusha was playing when he was 38 years old. I'm 34 in August. And if we finish quickly the experienced players, where are we gonna get? We're gonna start the building again, which is gonna take for how long it take us to win the AFCON since I started playing for the national team. For how long did Kalusha put together the players since they became, very good to compete with Senegal, Ghana, to mention all those things. So these are the things that also Zambians they can look up to. Otherwise, if we can't look up to this, so we'll be sure we are going down. We are going down.
What's your advice? We've seen some players who've played at that high level, but when they come back, they become destitute, they start begging on the streets and so forth. What's your advice?
I think they need to look after themselves. For sure, if somebody had a house, it's a good thing that he can have. You don't need to sleep in the street. When you have been played abroad. And the advice I can give to them is that make sure that you have a house. That's the thing that you can do. And let me take even this opportunity, of saying the players are going abroad. Those are the time that we had maybe 6, 7 or 8 players coming to play for Zambia. But look at now, how many players we have abroad who are playing in a competitive league. So these are the things that the Zambians has to start thinking now, because we are declining the people who are playing in the competitive league. I remember that time I was playing in Germany. We had this Sichone, we had the Sinkala, you know, we had the Mayuka, we had the Collingsi, you know. We had the players playing at least in the competitive league. But this time it's just declining slowly and slowly. And this is the moment that the players who are playing now, they have to think quickly and start adjusting themselves. Otherwise, we won't have more players in the near future who are going to play in a competitive league outside.
And lastly, do you have a family? Are you married?
Yeah, for sure, I'm married. I've got 4 kids, 3 boys, 1 girl.
Christopher Katongo is indeed a hero. I hope you learned a lot as much as I learned. My name is Maiden. Until next time, enjoy watching ZNBC TV.